What kind of title screen is that? Synosis? Synosis? Signosis? 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 All I know is that thing couldn't look more 90s if it tried. And is that supposed to be an owl? I could have done a better job. Does that look like an owl's body to you? But I'm just talking about the big thing in the middle. Look at that to the lower right. Apparently they realised how bad that owl looked. So they said, hey guys, we'd better try that again. Let's draw a ball with an owl's face on it. Put that beside the owl that's already there. They know to do it. Yeah, it was Jenkins that said that. Jenkins worked for whatever. Oh, that wasn't the title screen? Then what kind of title screen is this? An Amiga game by... what on the planet does that even say? Nice job with the R, guys. If that's even supposed to be an R, the bottom and top aren't even connected. Reflect. What's those letters in the distance? Do I have to get out my glasses? Reflections. Oh, the word reflections. Sitting on top of a blue platform in space with a bunch of blue fly swatters holding it up in space, and there's some planet down there. The moon? Whatever. What a load of nonsense. They didn't even put a capital letter on the end. I thought it was just these days people did that and thought it was artsy. Well, they did it back then as well, I guess. Beast! What kind of title screen is that? That's not even the game's name. It's Shadow of the Beast. They couldn't even bother to change the title screen when they decided the final name. What kind of title screen is that?
Clear out of it, mate. Find your own show to watch. This is mine. Yeah. Did I even set this thing up right? Yeah, I must have. It's showing those weird images. Great. Right. Here are you, Burks. I want to watch myself running about in peace. Blimey, how many of them are there? There's a pork pie shop down the road. Why don't you plonkers go there and leave me alone? Not moving. Fine. I'm physically incapable of interacting with anything without taking damage, and I've only got 12 health till I'm dead. So looks like you're staying. Fine. Alright. I've got a magical projector doohickey thing what recorded my successful attempt at this adventure of mine. Yeah, I went on an epic quest back in the day. 25 years ago. Something like that. It's time to relive old memories for no reason. Fat chance of any of you knowing about this stuff. I was the big cheese back then, and oh yes, apparently, in some region of the world that has no taste in game design. Right, what a crazy slog this was, I'm telling you. Back then when I had to do this stuff for real. What? Insert disc 2? Oh, it's acting up again. Hang on, I've got to put this little thing in that slot there. Don't know why. There we are. Yeah, Shadow and the Beast, they called it. Because, well, they had their reasons. When they mass marketed this thing, they had to give it some kind of title. I mean, there was a beast, I guess. It wasn't me, despite the fact that, I mean, look at me. But yeah, right, here I am. That's me, that is. And that up there is one of those, see that? One of those blimp things in the background. Right now, there I am in the middle of a giant field. That's where I set up the magic camera thing. It follows me everywhere, provided I move along strictly two-dimensional axes. Yeah, no going in and out of the screen with this thing. But luckily, as the gods would have it, all the places I had to go were just in a perfectly straight line, from side to side from each other. So no bother there. Nice touch. Whoever put that welcome sign up? Right, so, what did I do first? Oh, that's right, yeah. I had absolutely no idea whatsoever what I was doing. Well, I didn't the first 50,728 times I went on this adventure. Yeah. Why'd I end up having to do this 50,729 times? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. You've just seen. That random giant tumbleweed flew in at the speed of light from the right. There's why right there. And what an appropriate way to start. The first thing that could hurt me. And I saw it, and I turned around, and I put out my dinky little fist, and I was a millisecond off and it got me. That was 1 hit point down. Oh, this is a nice feature of the recording as well. See that number in the top left? That's my health, that is. I had 12 hits, and if I lost all of them, I was dead. Yep, dead. But the gods brought me back to life every time for some reason. Well, they did something for me, I guess. That's about it. Everything else in this was out to have my guts for garters. Look how fast those birds come in. Oh boy, Cousin Mildred's anti-wrinkle cream. I wonder where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, that was there in real life and all. Thanks, gods. Would have helped if you'd told me to go left in the first place, in direct contravention of every single instinct a person would have in a left-to-right plane like this. But supposing I ignored the sign and kept going left, what then, eh? Oh, I'll tell you what then. See that tree with a hole in it? You know what would have happened if I'd kept walking forward there? Bloomin' killed me on the spot. Yeah, the world hates me. Right, I have to go inside the tree because the sign said so. There was a reason for this spot. Oh, I forgot what it was. And here's the welcoming committee. A fireball off the staircase I used to come in. Did you see that? I got hurt from falling too far. But not just that. I went from 10 to 4. I lost 6 health. Half my health bar gone in an instant. Why even bother with 12 in the first place if you're gonna pull stuff like this? I definitely had any way to see that coming. Oh, those spikes would have killed me as well if I'd fallen down that pit. Bloomin' heck. What kind of tree is this anyway? Look in the back there. You can see grey metal looking bits. What's with that? Was the tree built by someone? Is the tree wearing armour? Maybe the bangles and the tree's just very fashion conscious. And now the purple soldiers, at least they're chumps. Maybe if you guys didn't all slowly swing your swords back to hit me, you might get me before I punched you. Or better yet, how about if you just kept walking into me, because I can't touch anything without getting hurt. Oh well, be grateful for small mercies. Gods don't have many of them. Despite all my chants and rituals, I dress up for Salad Bowl Day every single month, with the earwig, onion rings and everything. And I'm lucky if I get 5 tomatoes from the harvest. Ah, good. An elf up. Always grateful for them. Funny to me how it has text showing up to tell you what it did. Guess the gods thought I was too stupid to figure out what picking up a massive yellow key meant I could open a door. Did you see that? Find the door it opens. Seriously? But yeah, I came into this tree, found a key I had no reason to believe was there. Ah, it's one of those... It's one of the beast's diabolical minions! How will I ever defeat this dreadful... I beat him. Why'd I have to do that? He must have opened some passage up somewhere. For no reason. So now into that mechanical object what makes me be somewhere else. Guess the tree is mechanical then. Yeah, what? You thought we was a bunch of medieval peasants around here? Well, we are, but yeah, did you see that blimp? Oh, great, it's acted up again. Sorry, yous lot, this projector thing likes to freeze sometimes. Beats me, why? Maybe because I bought it from some dodgy geezer down the street, but he said it worked a treat. Lubbly jubbly, that's what he said. Then he called some guy standing next to him a plonker, when he pointed out I'd paid 10 times the going rate. Well, whatever. The crops came in this year, for once, so no skin off my wallet. No biggie. We've got high technology round here, just like those ninjas. What were they called again? Steve, Billy, Gordon? Yeah, that lot. Great bunch of lads. Another minion. Good thing I can inexplicably shoot fireballs with my fist for this fight, and this fight alone. Not so good that a massive black tablet thing rammed itself up behind me. But the school thing coming after me didn't have the smarts to ram me into it, so... Or maybe the gods were watching over me. Yeah, did I explain to you guys what I'm even doing in this ordeal of mine? Yeah, hang about. I've got that document they wrote about it after it happened. Oh yeah, I'm a hero, you know. I mean, I was. When anyone cared. Here we are. Enclosed instruction book, it's called. Always thought that was a strange name for the thing. But that's what they went with. I also always thought the writing style of this thing was a bit weird, but I'll read the thing out for you now so you have some understanding what's going on here. The game. Many years ago on a moonless night... Wait, moonless night? There's never a night without a moon. Who wrote this? Uh-oh, it's the bouncing eyeball conga line! Make way, lads!
Fat chance, you purple pods! Clear off out of it! This is our part of the tree!
Oh, is that so? Well then I'll just walk past you. Getting it, because I didn't have a chance to dodge them. A small child was stolen away from its unsuspecting parents. Its mysterious abductors carried it far across the land to the mighty temple necropolis. There the child was accepted by the mages of darkness, warrior priests of the Beast Lord. Yeah, the Beast Lord, that's the beast from the title of this, I assume. What is that? A snail? How humiliating. Anything can hurt me. Deep below the temple, the child was escorted, passing through a labyrinth of rooms and passages to the chambers of creation. There the evil mages... What? Evil mages? Steady on, mates. I mean, I appreciate you just said they were mages of darkness. They worked in a place called the Necropolis, but calling them evil seems a bit judgmental, doesn't it? Now, past the line of those owl heads from that screen at the start of this. What are they doing here? Anyway, the evil mages work their dark arts creating strange creatures, plants, and traps to guard the beast's stronghold. So that's where all those spikes and ghosts and bouncing eyeballs and tumbleweeds and everything else came from. Somehow. Uh-oh, I don't like the looks of that. Look how nervous I was. I knew what was coming. Oh yeah, you know it too. Eat it! Mildred, Maggie, Gertrude, Williamina, Ingrid. Look at this. Bet you're glad you didn't have to go on this adventure, eh? 'Cause doesn't this look like fun? Timidly taking tiny steps forward for fear of some random who knows what coming along and sapping your health. Oh, and did I not mention, if I die here, the gods brought me back. But you know where? Right back at the start! In that field and grass from the beginning. Thanks, gods. Farmer Jakes told me once it was about extending gameplay time, but I just said, Farmer Jakes, what on earth are you on about? For the child, they had a special purpose, but first came years of preparation. Secret potions concocted from the blood of rare creatures slowly transformed his appearance, turning him from human into a strange creature of incredible power, agility, and strength. Incredible power, agility, and strength. Get stuffed, guys. I literally couldn't even punch out a tumbleweed. Deep hypnosis caused him to erase memories of his past life completely and become the warrior messenger of the beast. Warrior messenger? What's that even mean? Would that be like if Postman Pat busted down the door and beat people senseless before he handed them his letters? I don't get it. Many years passed in his service to the temple as he grew to maturity. Then one day he discovered an awful secret, the horrible truth about his past. A truth that now leads him on a trail of total and bloody revenge against his masters. You were that child. Now the time has come to enter the shadow of the beast. Yeah, I was that kid what got kidnapped. They made me drink a bunch of blood, and somehow that made me into this thing. Funny how it doesn't say how I found out I was kidnapped. I just accidentally stumbled on the Dark Mage's weekly Tiddlywink session. They just mentioned it during the debate about the legendary three-dimensional Tiddlywink. Ah! The Rocket Thrusters! But this is not finished yet. Oh no, you won't believe this. They went and turned my adventure into a story. Phew, made it past them. I reckon it's about time for the green grabby arms. Well, at least my puny little punches and kicks can tear those massive things out of the ceiling. The ceiling that doesn't even seem to exist. In search of the beast, in the grounds of Necropolis, all was silent and still. The moon low and large on the horizon. Oh, so the moon's back now, is it? Threw long dark shadows into the corners and a cold blue light across the stony ground, disguising the blood-red stains. Oh dear, on the sacrificial stone. Not a single creature stirred to disrupt the tranquility. Not a leaf moved on the nearby trees. Yeah, I bet the leaves wouldn't have hesitated to move if I'd shown up, thrown themselves at me with no warning. Eat this! I think there was a slight flaw in your attack strategy, mate. Well, not complaining. Right, so, all that tree malarkey, and all I've got to show for it is a key. There was not a trace of life in that sinister place, but for a single point of light glinting against the age-worn face of a statue. Up there in the huge arms of the deity's image, you emerge from the darkness into sunlight again. However, it's late in the day, and the shadows are growing longer. It's also becoming uncomfortably warm. I see. Fascinating. Uncomfortably warm. What? Is this turning into an advertisement for suntan lotion or something? Why on earth did they mention that? Whatever. So now I've got that key. It's over at the castle on the far right of the field to unlock it. Yeah, I could have braved this massive field to get to the castle at the start, and I would have just been told the door's locked and come back again later. By Mistress Agnes's marigolds, what a swizz! What a swizz! Up there in the huge arms of the deity's image sat a lone creature. In its powerful hand it clutched a globe of seeing, which it moved slowly from side to side, examining its reflected features. As it did so, it recalled the events of that day. The frightened humans being herded in the central courtyard. The pathetic pleas for help as they were dragged one by one to the sacrificial stone. God blimey, this is getting a bit harsh. The goddess of back pain still ain't done nothing about my aching spine. And for that matter, the going down a massive tree for the key to open a castle gods have done me no favours. Unfortunately, since I got the key, the entire universe has decided it's had enough of me, and all of existence throws itself into this plane to take me out. Dragons, gargoyles, more eyeballs.
Yeah, we're back. You'll never get past us this time. We're warping in and out of existence.
How'd you twerps do that?
We're eyeballs, mate.
Oh yeah, even the music changes. Like it's saying, yeah, the world wants you dead now. Man, Good thing all that nonsense ended after I beat the beast at the end of all this. Except it really didn't, because I had to go out again after this. Oh yes, it wasn't quite over. It wasn't quite over. I had another 2 adventures to go. After this first one here, I came back in the second one half naked and carrying a ridiculous yo-yo thing as a weapon. What kind of hero would use a yo-yo? Well, me apparently. Slayer of tumbleweeds, destroyer of tumbleweeds, conqueror of tumbleweeds. Me. That's what kind of hero would use a yo-yo. The final ear-rending screams as the knife came down in one swift arc, and the life blood ran. You mean blood? Why didn't you just say blood? Oh, I've never heard it called life blood before. You're just being pretentious now. Who wrote this? Right now. Now then. Okay. Let's get back into the castle. This is the castle that the beast uses for something, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, this is just more of me trying to avoid the cheap, unpredictable hits from everything. All these insurmountable challenges. And again, when I lose all my health, it's all the way back to the start. And then a tired, resigned face being pushed towards the stone. A face that seemed of some importance to him. Him, I guess, being the man with the thing, the one with the clutch of the globe was saying. Yet how could that be when the lives of these people meant nothing to him? And as the gleaming blade struck home, he recognised the agonised. What? It's got the agonised written twice here. Whatever. As the gleaming blade struck home, he recognised the agonised face of his father. And suddenly the painful memories of all he had been came flooding back to him. His masters had done this to him. They had been responsible for all that he was, and the loss of all he might have been. Well, now they would pay. Now the warrior would stop killing for his masters and begin to exact his revenge. Oh, I remember that too well. Yeah, that's right, that was me, that was. Oh dear, why did I start reading this? Where's my coffee? This is why I started drinking coffee. Look at this thing monkeying about the place. Call that a joke, Aarbron? Pathetic. I never figured out what half these creatures are supposed to be. Who's throwing the axes? Don't expect an explanation, because look, they were coming out of a completely dead-end wall. Nobody here to throw them. Oh, something's coming. See that preparation? That's the mark of a beast what's died 50,000 plus times to literally every single hazard in the land. We've started now. Gotta keep going. Gotta finish this narrative of mine. What they went to such troubles to write. I can't believe they went to all this trouble just for little old me. Standing, he lifted the globe high above his head and, clenching his clawed hand... What? Clawed hand? Do you see claws? Crushed it to 100 tiny shards. Now the warrior's head lifted. Lifted? Is that a word? Yeah, hang on. I got that other magical projector thing what shows me what words mean. Yeah. Just give me a minute now. This won't take long. What's it? Dictionary. .com. Right, that was it. I remembered that right enough. Lefted. If I put voted left, and it'll probably just won't accept that, will it? These things. I don't get it. Right, what's that word of the day? Amaranth fine. Unfading everlasting. I've never heard of that word. I've never heard of that word. They made that up. That's not a real word. Amaranth fine. You're having a laugh. What? I always spell it wrong, that's why. Right, sorry about that. Sorry you lot, sorry you lot watching this, over there. This, what's that? Never mind. Right. Lefted. I'm invested in this now. I'm going to expand my vocabulary. No, it didn't have that right. Let's just try left. Oh, why does this thing take so long again? Good grief. Right, left. I mean, not right. Left's not left as in the opposite of right. Left as in left and whatever that was. You know what I'm saying. What you don't? Well, never mind. Alright. Of, related to, or located on, or near the side of. Good grief. How many variations of this you got to say before you explain what the word actually means? Near the side of a person or thing that is turned toward the west when the subject is facing north. Could you have made that description of left any more complicated if you tried? Of or belonging to the political left, having liberal or radical views in politics. Well, there you have it then. Anybody what's that left wing they talk about means they've got radical views in politics. That's dictionary.com laid down the gauntlet there. Mathematics, pertaining to an element of a set that has a great property when written on the left. Oh, a given property when written on the left of an element or set of elements of the set. What? The left side or something that is on the left side. The left side or something that is on the left side are turned toward the left. Make a left in the next corner. The left, the complex of individuals and organised groups advocating liberal reform or revolutionary change in the social, political or economic order. Crimey, I didn't know that's what political left meant. Revolutionary change? Really? Every single person what's left leaning, whatever that even means in the first place, whatever it even meant before I found out this is what it meant, means they're after revolutionary change? Oh, whatever. I'm no politician. I'm not going to get in any of that nonsense. Oh no. You lot over there can stop clambering on about politics right now. I hear you gossiping over there. I won't be having any of that. Nothing but arguments. A blow delivered by the left hand. Left field. They're part of a legislative assembly, especially in continental Europe, that is situated on the left side of the presiding officer, and that is customarily assigned to members of the legislature who own more radical, and what surprise, radical and socialistic views than the rest of the member. Cool blimey, all I learned from this is that anything involved in left-wing politics involves being radical and wanting revolutionary change. What's next? Does right mean, what? Oh well, point is, lefted was not a word in the definition that this thing meant, so we all learned absolutely nothing. So back to the story. Yikes! I hate spiders! Well, at least there's only 2 of them. Man, if this thing was some kind of game instead of a live recording of a real-life happenstance, it would have been incredibly cheap of them to just shove all those fast, blindsiding objects that come from the sides of the screen. But it wasn't such a thing, so all good. So back to the story. Now the warrior's head lefted towards the heavens. He searched the sky for the dark halls of the ships whence his masters had come, and let out a roaring howl that spoke his defiance. Yeah, those dark halls of those ships, that's that blimp that was up there. I guess. Nothing would stop him now. He would crush them as he had crushed the globe. And he would never stop until the blood of all of them and their creation soaked into the earth. At this point, I grabbed a gun and started blasting my way through everything. Yeah. What, you weren't expecting this? Why not? It made for a nice change of pace. Although you can probably guess I didn't get to keep the thing for long. But long enough at least. Right, so let's recap then. The Masters, what may or may not have been the Dark Mages, now if it's not clarified at this point, was sacrificing a bunch of humans to some god or other. That's not right, you don't go sacrificing humans. And they were coming to and fro on that blimp thing I spotted earlier. Remember that? I was just sort of standing there apparently on that god statue with a ball. Globe of seeing, whatever that is. No explanation given. Well, I can tell you what it is, since they didn't. It was that rare one-of-a-kind tiddlywink what those Dark Mages had been fighting over in the Grand Tiddlywinks Championship. Yeah, I stole the thing. It looked pretty. It's almost as if whoever wrote this wanted to spice things up a bit, not mentioning that. Yeah, call it a globe of seeing. Sure, whatever. It's a tiddlywink. It's a 3D tiddlywink.
The punishment for standing against the shadow of the beast is death. You shall now perish.
Pods on out of it and eat a Yorkshire pudding, Derek. I made my choice. Yeah. And now I put on a jetpack and fly through a skeleton forest while blasting things with my gun. What's that you twerps are saying? These mechanics have come out of absolutely nowhere. What do you mean? The whole reason I went into this castle was to get that gun and that jetpack, so I could then fly and shoot my way back out of the castle again, before promptly losing them. I'd never flown a day in my life before this ordeal, or shot a gun. I mean, I'm just a farmer, but let me tell you, by attempt 50,000, I had this stuff down pat. So, flame-red eyes stared out across the sun-scorched plain, scanning the distant tree line. The warrior was allowing himself a brief moment to enjoy the stillness, a respite before he once again set mind and body against the unnatural creatures his former masters had spawned. Drawing in breath sharply, he flexed his ardent muscles, for no reason apparently, became aware of the blood rushing through his arteries. Yeah, I got 2 hearts. That lot of good it ever did me. The warrior knew that his power and speed were all that ensured his survival. Yeah, that and the 50,000 resurrections from the gods, the day that he became weak, the hour that he became slow, would be his last. Setting off at a run, he headed towards the trees. Staring, yeah, good thinking there, me. Otherwise you would have ended up running miles to the right, only to find out there's a castle what's got a door you can't even open. He headed toward the trees, stirring up a trail of grey dust behind him. To have remained on the plain while the sun was high would have been fatal. Got that right? Yeah. But the shade of the trees most likely concealed a darker fate. As the warrior reached the first growths, his instincts told him that he was unlikely to be alone for long. His eyes darted from side to side, watching for the tiniest movement that would betray a predator. When it came, it did so with speed, rushing at him full on, its black wings crashing through the foliage, and from its blood-filled mouth came a piercing scream as it sighted its kill. Again, I'd like to remind you that the first thing I encountered was a tumbleweed. The warrior had barely enough time to crouch as the creature flew at his head. Well, they got that right. Turning swiftly, he brought his bone-covered fist up hard into the creature's soft underbelly. Hang on, I couldn't punch upwards, just to the sides. All this artistic license, sheesh. Uh-oh, another freakish abomination. Yeah, I don't know where all these hideous creatures came from, or why they look so messed up. Well, that story said it was the beast, ward, master, mage, dark, whatevers that made them. But yeah, they got some twisted imaginations. But the warrior ignored the body. Why are they so uncomfortable with naming me the warrior? Aarbron's my name. Aarbron! Behind him had come another screech. Too close this time. As he turned and dived for cover, another winged demon flew at him, claws extended for the kill. The warrior struck out again, but the creature was too quick, and he felt its talons tearing into his abdomen as he rolled away into the undergrowth. He lay there panting, momentarily dazed. He could feel a warm wetness across his side and stomach, and with it a sharpening pain. But he concentrated on ignoring it. The wound would congeal soon enough, and if he stayed any longer, he would lose far more than a little blood. He stood slowly, fighting the waves of pain that passed through him, feeling his heart's pounding faster. But he had to be moving. Other creatures would not ward off another attack. Yeah, unlock the door inside the castle to get out of the castle. Oh, begging your pardon, governors. Just got to switch the things, discs as it calls them. Now it screamed in pain, spinning in midair and crashing down between the gnarled roots of a tree. As he stumbled between the trees, he noticed something out of place against a distant trunk. Coming closer, he realised that it was a doorway. A beast mage construction, and hurried onwards. Again, is that the dark mages or something else? There's like a million different names for things in this so far. Thinking only of the things that would soon be trailing him, i.e. tumbleweeds, the warrior took a charge and dropped through into the darkness. What, you mean the tree? He was just in time. Behind him there was a blood-curdling scream, followed by a resounding crash, as another winged creature failed to follow him through the opening. The warrior took only a moment to reflect that once more he had beaten the odds before taking stock of his situation. There was a cool breeze coming from somewhere beneath him, and now that the creature had retreated, a menacing silence fell, a silence punctuated only by the slow dripping of water deeper within the cavern. Oh, the cavern? Man, does this story have anything in common with what actually happened? As the warrior's eyes became accustomed to the poor light, he made out a worn stairway, curving away from him into the darkness. So his suspicions were confirmed. He had stumbled upon another of his ex-master's outposts. They were becoming more frequent. Could this be the end of his long journey? Had he found the stronghold at last? There was only one way to find out. Yeah, the tree was the Dark Mage's outpost. Or the Beast Mages, or the Beast Lord, or the Masters, or the... Never mind. Padding slowly down the stairway, the warrior readied himself for whatever abominations lay in wait at the bottom. Soon the stairway straightened out, and the warrior found himself on a narrow ledge. The phosphorescence from the cavern walls was enough to reveal that he was in a huge chamber that extended away into pitch darkness. Now the silence broke into distant sounds of angry growling. Whatever inhabited this place had obviously picked up his scent. The ledge that he was on appeared to be deserted, so he advanced slowly. But there was a sizzling sound behind him. Instinctively, the warrior jumped and felt his feet singe as a white-hot fireball shot behind him to explode violently against the cavern wall. So his former masters were aware of his presence and realised his intent. He would have to be twice as alert now. They would use every means in their power to stop him. Ahead of him now, he could make out a rough wooden ladder staked into the side of the ledge. Cat-like, he swung himself onto it and began his descent, dropping silently the rest of the way when he saw another ledge beneath him. No sooner had his feet hit the ground than a scaled abomination rushed forward, jaws grinding ferociously. The warrior turned calmly and dispatched it with a single blow. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. Here I am building that up like it was something epic. Just punch it off. Mind you, seems like the last chunk of this has just been me fighting things and diving away from them. And so the ordeal went on as he worked his way deeper into the cavern. Creatures to the like of which he had never seen beset him at every step. but each was destroyed with determination as the warrior remembered his promise to himself to continue until every last one was dead. Right, back. So yeah, we went into that tree at the start of the game to get a key to unlock the castle and get inside the castle. After going into the castle and getting that gun and jetpack, we've left the castle without a gun or a jetpack, and we're just on the other side of the castle. That was all very worthwhile. Also, it's getting a tad bit dark. I know what you're thinking. Aarbron, ain't you got no respect for the dead? Well, no, I haven't. You know why? Because I've been dead myself over 50,000 times. Even more if you count my other adventures. And it's nothing special, believe me. Fighting skeletons. You know you're up against that last stretch of things when the beast's sending those after you. Yeah. My name is Aarbron, or is that Aarbron? I couldn't tell you since no one I knew ever clarified, so my hands are tied, oh well, never mind. See, if you're not boy, I am struggling to finish this thing. I remember well all the times I fell small and voiced my traps, struck by for the claps with alien breeds and those tumbleweed shadow of the beast. I wanted on my dead bones face does he running through the shadows, dying, driving mad. Oh, so many unpredictable assholes. At least they don't think they dazzle. Not reach the castle. All these things with which I wrestle come so fast and think that hassle on my legs becomes an hassle. Cause my kit can only function when I'm in the air. What function led them to implant those things? What even are they for? Those rings my loss will grant me no compunction. These bindings which I wear were functioned surely by those who stole me. After 50,000 deaths I see how they inhibit me, whether in a tree or the countryside. They're out for my eye. If only my time I could find what I have inclined to suspect. Standing still will still get me killed. Going to say the graphics and music are nice, but that doesn't make the game now, does it? Oh, this is it! Even the buzzard bomber squadrons can't stop me now! Beast, or shadow of the beast, I'm almost at you. That beast was standing in the middle of this field for some reason. Well, wish he could have stood at the bit I started the adventure on, with the welcome sign. That would have saved me some bother. But unfortunately, I'm afraid to say it, guys, after all of this exciting quest, it ends in pretty much the most anticlimactic fashion imaginable. The beast's so huge you can't even see him. Just his club, if that even is the beast, striking down with his club. And his enormous foot. And somehow, by punching the pinky toe enough times, that destroys him completely. And that's it. And they tacked this proxy little congratulations screen at the end of this bit naff. If this had indeed been a game, like what I was postulating earlier, and the player had gone through all that nonsense, dying 50,000 times, and the reward was nothing but this, well, then they had wasted all their time for absolutely nothing. Great note to close off on, eh? Well, I had some fun telling you a lot about my antics. Hey, come back next time and I'll show you the next one, which is even more ridiculous than this. And gods, for goodness sake, give me a decent harvest this year, will you? He had just dropped onto another ledge when he caught a glimpse of something shining in the distance. Moving closer, his keen vision made out a key sitting on a shelf on the other side of a broad chasm. He started to move swiftly towards it when he was halted by a mighty roar. Suddenly, he was confronted by a huge beast-like guard. His opponent took a short moment to size him up and then made a bellowing charge, swinging his double-headed battle axe at the warrior's head. Without losing a moment, the warrior sidestepped the blow and slammed his fist into the guard's throat. There was a sickening crunch as the neck snapped, and the warrior stepped back quickly as the huge body tumbled forward over the ledge. There was no moment for recovery before another hulking figure was rushing headlong at him. Cool, blimey, I'm getting fed up with this. It's all well and good when you can see this acting on the screen. I'm punching stuff left and right every 5 seconds, but when you're conveying that in a story, it's just the same thing over and over again. Anyway, no time of recovery before the hulking creature, yeah. But this time, the warrior was ready. He's been ready for the last 10 times, and his flying kick sent the guard plummeting backward to join his fellow. Now a clear way lay ahead of him to the key. He sprinted along the remainder of the ledge, and just as the edge of the abyss met him, he leapt forward, hands reaching out to grasp the edge of the shelf. He made it, in a shower of dirt and stones, and caught his breath as he hung swinging above a seemingly bottomless chasm. He could feel his sweaty hands begin to lose their grip. If he let go now, he would almost certainly die. If he made it onto the shelf, who knew where the key might lead him? Now the warrior's true destiny would be decided. Well, that's that. How much did they pay the guy about that? Boy, Bessie's bloomers, that was some overwrought prose to describe me punching a couple of tumbleweeds and going into a tree. Although it seems they left it half finished. Just ends with me getting that key in the tree. I'll have to write the rest of this myself someday. Well, I could go on describing the warrior's objective. You must fight your way through several different regions. Yeah, this is where the thing gets weird. It just starts talking from this point on. It just starts saying some really weird stuff here. I don't understand. In order to reach the heart of the enemy's stronghold and face your ultimate adversary, any creatures you encounter will invariably be hostile and will cause damage when they come into contact with you. Yeah. Each time you are damaged, your heart rate will increase. Your current heart rate is shown on the monitor in the top left corner of the screen. If your heart rate gets too high, your hearts will burst, resulting in instant death. Here, heart rate. If I've got 2 hearts, shouldn't that be hearts rate? Ah, dear. I crack myself up. During your attack on the stronghold, blah blah blah, there are also weapons, blah blah. Controlling the warrior, use the joystick to control the warrior's movements. If you can make any sense of this stuff, feel free to tell me. Jump up, move left, move right, crouch down, press the fire button to punch or kick while jumping. If you have a weapon in your possession, pressing fire will make the wild weapon rather than punch or kick. Move the joystick up down, the exit swing grey areas. It is also wise to watch your step. The warrior can survive short falls, but stepping into a pit or off an iron edge will prove fatal. Pressing P at any stage will pause the... whatever. Right. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this here in the end? Do not hope for good luck. Your survival will depend on your skill and ingenuity alone. Well, I've got a bone to pick with that. More accurately, it will depend on my ability to memorise all the impossible hazards what pop up as I try over and over again tens of thousands of times. Soft and frustrous, have mercy. What have I done to deserve this? 5 sacrifices a week, I'm telling you. And what do I get to show for it? I get made to run through a gauntlet of stuff flying at me off the screen and spikes thrusting up out of the ground under me without warning. And all I've got to defend myself is a punch. A tiny little punch what extends about 2 inches in front of me. Fight, yeah, just what I need against things rocketing at 30 miles an hour at me. What have the gods ever done for me, eh? Burning my incense at the altar for a decent harvest. I bought 4 candles for it. It's never burn out. But, well, the only problem is the things don't seem to light in the first place. What am I doing wrong? They don't even look like candles.
but I asked the shopkeeper for 4 candles, so they must be. They look more like handles for forks to me, but how can he make a mistake like that? I can't comprehend of such a thing transpiring. I keep telling him, hey, Anthrostrus, you're great, you're the best, mate. Yeah, buttering him up. That Andriagna's got nothing on you. She just watches over tulips. Maybe if I didn't badmouth all the gods to the others behind their backs, considering they can see everything. Here, I never thought of that. Ah, this thing's hard as a block of stilton. A block of cemented stilton what's been kept in the fridge too long and even Del Boy wouldn't try and sell it. Yeah, it's like that. But you know, I've heard that everyone what went on adventures in the late 80s to early 90s had a miserable time of it. Everything out to get us. Don't know why. Maybe because the gods didn't want anyone to realise that if you can get past the difficulty, my quest's about as long as Kirby's Dreamland. Wait, Kirby's Dreamland? What in Beastland's that? I'm going senile. Probably something to do with this transformation of mine. Yeah, I didn't used to be a monster, you know. I was an omen with a stupid name. And what am I doing again? I've died and been resurrected so much at this point I can't even remember. If it's not the massive spike traps that come out of absolutely nowhere in this big grassy field, its ghosts will rocket in from the side of the screen before I have a chance to react. A chance to react with my laughable excuse for an attack. A chance to react with my laughable excuse for an attack what's got the range of maybe 5 pixels. What's that beast nonce been? When that beast nonce was making me into this monster, could he not have given me some more monster powers? Just a stupid punch? Why did he even bother? Oh dear. A snail hurt me? How humiliating. If I stepped on a leaf of corn, it would probably give me an injury.
Shadow of the Beast. Busy about this.